Hey, it's Rachel, and a lot of parents ask me, what is the best punishment I can find to actually get my kids to do what I want them to do? So maybe you want your children to listen to you more, or maybe you want your children to be nicer to each other, or maybe your child keeps rushing through homework and you want to know what consequence or punishment to use to actually motivate them to act better, to do better. Well, if you're watching this video, I can almost guarantee that you've tried a number of different punishments and you're finding that none of them is working. And that's because, in general, I find that punishments do not work to create more positive long-term behavior. So I want to tell you the reasons punishments don't work, and then I'm going to tell you what to do instead. So one of the main reasons that punishments don't work is because we think that if we punish our child, that they won't like that punishment, so they'll do the thing that we want them to do, or they'll stop doing the thing we don't want them to do. So for example, if you have a son and he's always mean to your daughter, maybe you say, if you're mean to your sister one more time, I'm not going to take you to your friend's house. I'm not going to drive you there. And we think that, you may think your son will say, oh, I really want to go to my friend's house, so I'm going to start being nicer to my sister. Well, the truth is, when we actually enforce punishments, maybe you don't take him to his friend's house, what he's really thinking is not, oh, I should be nicer next time. He's thinking, why didn't they take me to my friend's house? We were going to do X, Y, and Z when we were together there. And he's thinking, well, why doesn't mom or dad care that my sister was mean to me first? And what they're really focusing on is their own experience and their own emotions. They're not thinking about the lesson you were trying to teach in that moment. The second reason that punishments don't work, and I think this is probably even bigger, is that punishments do not teach tools so that kids know what to do better the next time. So if your son is being mean to your daughter, there's a reason. Maybe he's getting frustrated with her and he doesn't know how to handle his frustration in a mature, responsible, respectful way. And in his defense, adults often don't know how to handle their frustration in a more respectful way. So he doesn't know how. So we punish him for being mean to his sister, but we don't teach him how to do something differently the next time. So next time he's frustrated, he's going to treat her in the exact same way. The other reason I'm not a huge fan of punishment is because it's what we call an external motivator. So it's things outside of him that are trying to shape his behavior. Now, what happens then when you're not around to enforce a punishment? What if you're not there to tell him to stop, or you're going to take something away? Is he still going to do the right thing when the punishment isn't there? And I don't know about you, but I want my kids to do the right thing even when I'm not there to remind them or to threaten them. So ultimately, I'm not going to take punishment away from you. If that's what you're using and it's working for you, go ahead. And I know that punishment for a lot of us, it makes us feel more in control. We think, well, at least I'm doing something about it. And I also recognize that we live in a behavior has consequences society. So for those reasons, if it helps you feel better, go ahead and use it. But I do want to urge you to use one other strategy that I find way more effective. And that is to figure out what's underneath your child's behavior and to give them tools to do something different. So again, if your son is being mean to your daughter, maybe he needs to learn how to handle his frustration more effectively. And that is absolutely something you can teach him. That's a skill that can be learned. Or if your child is rushing through homework and you want to know how to motivate better behavior, it's not to threaten, taking away their electronics. It's to understand, why are they rushing through their homework? Is it because it's boring? And if so, we can actually teach them how to deal with boring tasks. Is it because it's difficult? Is it because, the timing of the day is wrong for them? When you figure out why and you give them tools to be successful, they are way more likely to be internally motivated to do the right thing. Kids really do want to do the right thing. They don't want, things to go wrong and chaos to be created. They just often need the tools to be able to do so. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at rachel@bailey.com. I also teach all of the reasons that kids are doing what they're doing, plus how to teach them the tools to handle those reasons in my Parenting Academy. So feel free to check that out at rachelbaileyparentingacademy.com. Till then, I'll see you next time.